I received such an amazing question on social media that I had to answer it. And the thing is, I don't think of these things myself or to come up with these subjects because the thing is, it's not really something that I would ask somebody because I've been like this most of my life. And what I mean is that I've been a psychic medium or connected since I can remember. Now, the question's interesting. It says, "Hi, Jay. If I book to see you, am I guaranteed to speak to my parents or to my nephew?" And that's really kind of an interesting question because really there are different reasons why a spirit wouldn't come through. And so to answer that fairly, I'm going to tell you that there are no guarantees around that. When a person comes to see a psychic medium, there are a couple different things that happens. First of all, what we do is we make the person comfortable. We make sure that they understand the code of ethics or that they've read the disclaimer. Now, those things are there to protect a client because the thing is, a lot of people really have high expectations of light workers, and not everybody does, but people who have seen television shows and different things where only the good parts come up, really, I'm going to tell you, set a precedence for a lot of mediums out there to have to jump through hoops and different things like that. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but what I mean is a lot of times I have people that ask me to do a mini reading before they come for a reading because if I'm not accurate enough, they don't want to hire me. But it's one of the reasons why most psychic mediums will have a disclaimer or a code of ethics on their site, just basically to set the rules and regulations to know what to expect, because a lot of people will think that we can give advice in terms of financial or medical or psychological or those types of things, but really we're not professional in those fields. All we can really tell a person is what we hear, what we see, what we sense, and what we smell. Seriously, at the time of the appointment. And so with all of that going on, there's a great interaction between the two parties or whoever it is that's sitting at that reading. Now, the other thing that I find is when you ask about the guarantee, sometimes souls will not come through, and it doesn't matter how fantastic the medium is. I have worked with world-renowned mediums and people that are extremely well-respected in the industry, and everybody has their day, but there are factors to it. It could be that the psychic is off that day or is tired. It happens to anybody. Doesn't matter what industry that you're in. But for the most part, I don't think that's what it is, because most psychics, even though they're tired, or most mediums tired, will still be able to connect. But I think it has a lot to do with the energy that's around. So the thing is, when a person is very closed-minded or comes into the office, being very, demanding or asking like very sternly for certain things, because people that are grieving sometimes will have different emotions and feelings going into a reading because they're afraid, because they don't know what to expect, because they didn't do their homework or maybe didn't read enough about, what the psychic medium does and that kind of thing. So the thing is, they'll come in, asking questions when they could have read everything on the site before. And it's not to blame the client, but some people do come in, asking very, very specific things. And if we're not connecting to that specific thing, and then the person gets very angry or upset with that. But the thing is, it's to establish a connection, a good feeling with the light worker that you're working with, so that you can let them speak and tell you what they're sensing, hearing, feeling around you, and then you can ask questions. Now, we reserve the questions for, once you get some interaction going, because the thing is, you want to make sure that spirit is the one that you're looking for, or the one that you feel may be coming around you, and they will explain enough what they're sensing in order for you to feel comfortable enough to identify who it is that you're talking to. Even if they don't come up with a name or certain dates, you will know. Now, the other thing is that sometimes certain spirits will not come through because they're grounded. So certain spirits, such as people that have been, have committed suicide, or people that have, intentionally harmed themselves, or people that, died, very suddenly without really realizing that they passed away. Now, sometimes these spirits are grounded, and that's not a bad thing. But when they're grounded, a light worker cannot feel their energy, as clearly as though they would have passed through. So the thing is, it's difficult. And sometimes it can also be the person's belief system. If you have someone coming in saying, I don't believe a thing you're going to tell me, it's hard for the light worker to be able to connect properly, because we get a little bit nervous because we feel like we have to like try to prove or really try to connect for them. And so it's not as, I guess, as natural, or maybe doesn't flow as well as it should. And so are there any guarantees? I'm going to even say for any other psychic medium, the answer would have to be ethically no. And the thing is, if they were to answer differently, then I would think that they're just trying to take advantage of you for your money, or really not caring about how you're feeling about certain things. So I really had to kind of answer this on the perspective of medium, and also, I guess, the perspective of a client, but what we're seeing at that end. And it doesn't mean that clients are bad when they do these things. You know, I have a very deep understanding for human nature. So if someone comes in and they're really angry or very feisty, because some people are very angry during their grief. The thing is, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I have a deep understanding of these human emotions. And because I have this empath part of me, I can feel that. And so a good light worker, it doesn't matter who it is, a good light worker will be able to identify with you and to be able to kind of help you through that process of the reading, to make you feel comfortable, to make sure that you have all of your questions answered. And of course, you know, if you don't connect with your parents or your nephew, you know, try that person again, unless they tell you, you know, maybe you should go see someone else. Because sometimes there are other light workers that are connected differently. And so I would encourage you to also experience other light workers as well. So the thing is, just to keep in mind, when someone is telling you that there are guarantees that you're absolutely going to receive messages, think twice about that, honey, because the thing is, they're not being honest with you. And if they're not being honest with you, the reading is going to follow suit. It's not going to be an honest, heartfelt reading. And the thing is, I can't guarantee that I'm going to speak to your parents or to your nephews. So the thing is, I hope that that helps you make a decision. Please do your homework. Everybody out there that's listening, please, you know, do the same. If you're looking to get a reading from anyone, you know, just realize that light workers are humans as well. They have bad days, or sometimes they just can't connect because the energy's just not there, or the client's not open to it. I hope that all made sense to you guys. If you have any questions, please ask. I'd love to hear them. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I'd love if you did. Blah, tongue twisters. Anyways, have a great week, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.